Hi, this is Charity Mitchell. I currently live in Frederick, Maryland. I am originally from the state of Mississippi. We moved here after my husband retired out of the Air Force, and we've been living here about 7 years now. Uh, I currently work in a program called Systems Navigation through the Mental Health Association here in our county, where we assist families in navigating the agencies in our community to help access those agencies to anywhere from mental health needs to housing needs, and we stand by them and support them even while they're working with those programs. It's really important that we provide that background support for them to make sure that they're getting everything that they need from the agencies that we're referring them to, and also just providing that extra support so that they don't feel like they're quite so alone. My first internship, I was able to work at an initiative called Bester Community of Hope, which is one in 14 in the country that focus on a term that they call a catchment area. And this catchment area was the lower economic area of Hagerstown, Maryland, and where they work collaboratively and interdependently with the agencies in the community as well as schools. And they work to help the families, to help reduce absenteeism through schools, make sure that the kids are getting medical needs met, the families are getting the needs met that they may not get without the extra help. One of their mission statements is that they want their families to work interdependent with the agencies in the community. That was definitely something that I struggled with at first, because I thought the idea was to make our clients independent, where maybe they didn't need the agencies, but they looked at it a little different and said that, if they can work interdependent with the agencies, that they could be more successful. And by the time I was done working there, it definitely made more sense to me that we do kind of want our clients to work interdependent of the agencies that can help support them, so that they can be successful in reaching their goals. I grew up in a rural, if you can tell by my accent, a rural area of Mississippi, down in southern Mississippi. The rules for poverty there and getting on food stamps and things like that are definitely looked at a little, maybe a lot differently than are here. There's still a huge negative stigma even today for people to reach out for things like food stamps and Medicaid. It's actually really hard to get those things. I can remember us being on my mother using food stamps only twice in my life when I lived at home, and each time I can remember her coming out of the office crying because she was made to feel so horribly bad, for even thinking that she could go in there and apply for help. We were definitely lower class. We lived in a home that my mom grew up in. Dad didn't get his GED until I was in first or second grade, and he always worked manual labor jobs and never really brought in a whole bunch of money. My mom was a stay-at-home mom, so a lot of the big struggles that they would have would definitely be financial. So there was a lot of fighting in the home around finances, and I, being the oldest daughter of two children at the time, I would, try to kind of get them to stop fighting, try to intervene. With that, there was definitely no physical violence. There was just a lot of yelling and screaming at each other, a lot of resentment around the finances. So I learned pretty early to try to mediate between people, which I think is kind of where, uh, I wanted to help people, not feel as vulnerable and lonely and ashamed as I felt growing up, and just trying to be there and try to make each of the people comfortable. I tend to do that. I try to make everybody feel like they're comfortable in a situation. When I was 19, my mom had my sister, who's now 27, so that was a big shock. But I didn't really get to stay home long after she was born. But it definitely, growing up poor, wanting to help other people, definitely uh, led me to this profession, working with other families, helping them feel like they have a voice, and probably remembering my mom coming out of the food stamp office crying and feeling, and talking how they made her feel so bad. I never wanted anyone that I worked with to feel that way. And being a military spouse, we did move around a lot, and I did get the option to work at the food stamp office when we were stationed in Florida. And just remembering that everyone is human and everybody has needs, and nobody wants to put themselves out there and feel, make themselves vulnerable to other people, making sure I was very aware of that, and making sure that I was empathetic to their plight, and trying to get them as much help as possible. And really quick, one of the other things that I actually do too as well is I work at the Frederick County Hotline, and we work with 9 lines there, anywhere from 211 Maryland, the Frederick County Hotline, Maryland Crisis Connect, and the Suicide Prevention Lifeline. I've been doing that for about 3 years, so definitely wanting to make people feel empowered, that they can reach out to these other agencies and other things to get them the help that they need. I look forward to working with all of you guys. Have a good day.